Servus Pacem.
Hi everyone, welcome back to a new episode about Tribune. Today we are going to show you pieces, units and movement patterns, and I would suggest we jump right into the table. And I pick the manual, and what movements do we have? We have hike fields. This means a unit can go there, but just when the target field is not occupied by whether an allied or an enemy unit. It is marked by a turquoise circle, and that's just it. Strike field is, what is it? It's kind of brown or orange or what. This means your unit can just attack there if an enemy unit is on the target spot. And if you defeat the enemy unit, you take it from the board and you have to move your own unit to the target field. This means your unit can just go there if it defeats an enemy unit on the spot. Otherwise, it has no possibility to move there. And the combination of both hike and strike fields is a march field, indicated by a green circle. This means your unit can go on this field and it can attack enemy units if they stand there. In this particular case, the green circle would turn red, and that's it. And now I would give over the control to Max. Yeah, go on.
So, this game is a slightly modified one. For the purposes of this video, we have a little backdoor to show you movements and stuff, and therefore we have the ability to grab a figure, like this one, and move it somewhere, even against the rules. So you will not be able to do this, but for the tutorial series, it's a necessary feature. So then let's clear off the board.
I really like this explosion effect.
Yeah, that's funny. That's a admin tool too. And we clear off this one, and now we're alone with our protagonist, the Tribune.
But I place the Tribune here because they both always focus each other, and
yes, it looks nice.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't want to disturb you.
He's the protagonist of our game, and he's the most important piece, because if he dies, you lose. And if you pick him up, you see the green circles indicating that you can march there. So, in that sense, he's the simplest piece, because he just moves one hexagon, one tile, and that's it. The yellow circle just indicates where his original tile is. And that's it for the Tribune. And we go over to every other piece. We will first show only pieces that have just march fields, because I think it's easier to focus and to learn the behaviors of the figures.
Yeah.
So then, the Hastatus.
And please ignore all the other signs that are shown. We will all describe them later.
Yes, in a future video.
Mm-hmm.
He can only move one tile, but he is bound to the color complex he originally came from. So if he's on a gray field, he will only move to gray field. And if he's on a dark or a light field, he will move to only dark or light field. He's very important because of his size and his relatively long range for like his size. After him comes the Sagittarius. He has this special movement. He will always change the color complex. If you look like here, he will only move to black or white fields, and he's like the Hastatus. I can show you here. He goes there and one field further, in essence. So if I go quickly here, that's what he does.
Comparable to a knight in chess, somewhat. Huh?
Yes. And he's a very intriguing piece because he has really nice movement circles. He can jump in circles and circle right back, like here. And he's a very complex piece, even though his movement seems so easy.
And I like him most. It's one of my favorite choices because it's a very powerful unit and really disturbing for the enemy.
Yeah, because somehow humans are really bad at processing these L moves. Like in chess, in this game, linear moves are like easy to grasp, but this one with a slight twist, it's really hard to grasp, and that's why he's so dangerous. The Eques, on the other side, is powerful, but he's one of these linear pieces. He's like the Hastatus, but he will always run in the direction he goes. Like you can move him here or here. You can even move him very far, like this. You have two rays. In essence, he just runs in a straight line to his target, and there is this cool triangle, because hexagonal tilings are full of triangles, and that makes him a very funny piece because you can reroute him really quick.
Yeah, but he remains on his color, and that's one of the disadvantages of this unit. But he has a long range, and that's what makes him threatening.
Yeah. Then we have the Servus.
Okay, that's sorry that I interrupt. So far, these are all units that have just march fields, so hike and strike combined, right?
Yes.
Okay,
And
then
he's
now.
the first
Okay.
one to break this rule, basically. And if you just pick him up, he can attack to the left and the right. It's a little homage to chess. But there are really funny patterns emerging. If you have two of them, they can guard each other. The white circle says he guards him, and if you go further, they will always guard each other.
Like the pawn in chess, yeah.
And that's very funny, and very practical. He will always move one tile, and the funny thing is, he attacks on a different color complex than he stands on. And same goes for the walking, and the colors of the field he walks and the field he attacks are also different.
Okay. Yes, walk means hike and strike. And I wanted to show you the white pieces. White pieces go into the different directions, so the white pieces hike straight forward to the enemy tribune.
And yeah, that's a specialty for yes. I almost forgot that. And he's very practical if you try to box a piece in, or if you try to hunt the enemy Tribune down.
Mhm.
So he's very small, and but he's really dangerous, especially
Yeah,
in this region.
because he blocks fields and you cannot escape. You cannot jump over this field.
Yeah,
Okay, the next unit should
Ballista.
be the Ballista,
Bal-
right? Yeah, Ballista.
by the way, there are no figures with a height of 5,
Mhm.
and there is just an there's no piece with a height of 7, and every thing beyond 8 is also non-existent. And this is the Ballista. It has a height of 6, and it is really funny. It's a bit overwhelming what you see here. Just focus
Yes.
on the turquoise field, the turquoise circles.
Yes, the hike fields, yeah.
In essence, I'll put it here. The turquoise fields are moving fields. It can move like here and like here, and it moves like an Eques does, but it can't attack there. It attacks on these files and ranks in straight lines, if you
Wait a
so wish.
moment. I put in an enemy unit. Now grab your unit. And you
And,
instantly see that you can attack here because the red circle indicates it.
and it's very important. It stops. Does not go here, but if I hold it up, but if this enemy piece moves, it can go here, there,
Yeah.
then.
And if it is here, the
It
path is
blocks,
blocked and it can hike there anymore. So
and
you can
that
stop
makes
the unit.
the piece very special. It's like in Ballista. It's you can move it parallel to the enemy, like this, and you can shoot right down to there.
All the names we chose derive from the ancient battle forces of ancient Roman army. And so the Tribune is the leader. We had the one with the chain. The chain indicates he is a slave, the Servus. If he has a spear, he's a spearsman. Hastatus is a name. The archer is the Sagittarius. Eques is an equestrian, quite easy to grasp. Here's the equestrian, and the ballista we saw earlier on is the heavy assault gun, and last but not least is the Centuria, the 100-man battle force, elite group or what?
Yeah,
The most
and
powerful unit in Tribune.
really funny because sometimes it said that's 80 to 100, and that fits with the 8 high tower.
Yes.
That's a very funny detail. So the Centuria.
I try to zoom in. We can see the helmet here. Okay,
The
go on.
Centuria just operates in a small hexagon with a side length of 3. So that's a specialty. And the Centuria can walk along these lines, but it can't walk on the color complex. So it is not the fastest of pieces. And it has another specialty because it can jump over your own units. So I can move it here legally, and I can move it back. but it is not allowed to jump over enemy pieces. You can't go here, but you can go there. And that makes it really unique. And therefore, it's more of a defensive piece. So you can use it in an attack, and it may be the leader of the attack and very important. But more often than not, you will use it to regroup your troops and to just hold everything together in your little I don't know, your shelter together
Yeah.
for your Tribune.
But in close melee range, it's the most powerful one, and because of its power of 8, this means it can defeat every enemy unit.
Yeah.
But the combat system we will cover later.
Yes. And how to regroup your troops. What is important though, the Tribune can have other heights, but then he will just adapt the movement of the height. The only special case is when he's alone, then he will do this mini hexagon movement. But if you become bigger, you will just adapt to the movement, the figure you are. So
yeah, now he's Sagittarius. Yeah.
So that's it for the movement. Do you have anything else to include?
No, this was very intense, very good. Okay, I know the game, but I guess it's enough for today. Enough to swallow. And yeah, in the next episode, we are going to cover combination, decombination, because the question is, how can a small unit become bigger and bigger, or maybe smaller again? And this is all about the combination and decombination section. And in the third episode, we will cover the combat system, attacking, taking hostages, and then we are ready to rock.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good.
Thanks for watching, and see you soon. Bye bye.
Have a nice day.